I wish I had some kind of M&M's. That'd be great. I'm thirsty as hell.
Well, how you get caught lacking, bro? You don't got no M&M's, but M&M's is essential.
Bro, I didn't bring no M&M's today. Like, I brought my lunch, and I had some snacks, but I ain't had no M&M's, so I'm kind of irritated with myself. Slightly disappointed, too.
Yeah, you definitely got caught slipping on your pimple. But I tried to offer your ugly ass some Skittles, but you got like too good for Skittles.
Bro, I don't fuck with Skittles. They give me the shits.
What?
They give me the shits, man.
How?
Fruity candy just fucks up my stomach. It's always been that way. Like, I remember the first time I ever tried some like fruity candy. It was some Starburst, and it was one. I thought this shit is the most disgusting shit in the world. It got stuck in my teeth. Pieces of it got stuck on the roof of my mouth. It was like slimy peanut butter. Like, I didn't have a good time. So nah, me and fruity candy just don't get along. I mean, it's not it for me, Chief.
I feel you, but you got them Skittles hit on. So what you talking about? Hey, Skittles hit miraculously.
Yeah, man.
Especially which ones did you try?
I tried regular Starburst, and then it's just never been one of those things. Like, I don't know if it's the sugar or what, but I don't know, man. Like, I fucks with chocolate, cookies, cakes, donuts, and stuff. Like, if I didn't work out so much, I would definitely be fat. Like, for sure.
I have to say I agree with that. I probably would too. But, hey, yo, check this out. The other day, this shit made me think about you. I was driving I was in Waikiki, and I turned the corner, and it was this dude. It was like 5:30 in the morning. You know how people throw out their mattresses on the side of the curb? It was this dude, like this homeless dude, just bouncing on top of the fucking mattress like he was at home having a good ass time.
Hold on, wait. So I reminded you of a fucking crackhead having the time of his life pretending he was an astronaut?
Yeah, man, I was just like, damn.
My man.
Rashaad looked like he would have fun doing some shit like that, but I got my boy with me, Rashaad Greene. If you don't know, you about to find out. But yeah, pretty much, well, in my eyes, the only black tattoo artist on Oahu, the island of Hawaii.
Nothing personal, it's just business.
You know what I'm saying? This is how it be sometimes. But I had to go ahead and get this interview done because, honestly, this is probably like the third or fourth time we tried this shit.
Yeah, I mean, we just gonna have to be real with everybody. Like, this is the third time we're filming this right now. Like, we had problems with audio. I had like a little spinny chair, and I couldn't help it. Like, I was spinning that motherfucker, just making it happen. And this one still spins, but I got my feet on the ground. You know, I know I look tall, but I'm actually short as shit. So, you know, I'm very honest with people up front. Like, you know, I'm not 6'3", but that don't mean you can just dunk on me. You know, fuck around and find out. You know, I might be able to ball. All right, I'm kidding. I got weak ankles. I can't do that. Like, these are fantasies. Sometimes fantasy world and reality intertwine, and then I met with what's called the truth. And there's my truth, and then there's the actual truth. And in my head, I'm Michael Jordan in his prime. In reality, I'm sitting in the stands.
So as you can see, this is a very interesting, unique individual, to say the least.
My man.
And so, you know, that's what kind of like veered me towards him, bro. Because, I mean, at the end of the day, just a real dude, real genuine dude, and you good at what you do.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, I got proof.
Well, yeah, you know, I tattooed him before. You know.
Yeah. So, hey, so if you ever in Hawaii, you need a tattoo, and you want to check out a black tattoo artist, just the one to find right here, Rashaad Greene.
Yeah, 404-642-5615. I know that's super random. It's a 404 number, but I'm from Georgia, so it's cool. But yeah, 404-642-5615.
But hey, I'm just trying to get into a little bit of like, obviously your personality is not very common. So I wanted to get into it, like, just trying to get to know you a little bit more. Let's just start with what kind of veered you towards tattooing?
The real reason why I became a tattoo artist is I'm the pettiest man I know, pettiest man alive, and I'm completely honest when I tell people this. I didn't draw a day in my life before I decided to become a tattoo artist, but I was like 22. I was in the Marines, and I had just gotten back from a deployment to Japan. And I went to my favorite spot to go get tattooed. When I popped up in there, the dude acted like he didn't know me. Here's my problem. I had spent pretty much a bulk of pretty close to 3 years going to the same spot, same artist, bringing him bread, all kinds of stuff. And I'm not I'm not cool enough to name drop. He knows who he is. He's a fucking clown. But it really pissed me off. So I did some digging around and found the opportunity to learn how to tattoo. Still out here in Hawaii, and I took it. And it's been just an insurmountable of blood, sweat, and tears. But here we are, back full circle. I just came back in February. That's why probably a lot of people haven't heard of me because I just came back this year to Hawaii. I left in 2014, and then I just came back this year.
Yeah, and I think that's dope in itself because you don't see a lot of us out here. Like we're not out here massively. So when you find one you can connect with, it's just that much more like cool. So it's just like it makes me wonder like how what led to you being specifically out here in Hawaii.
Funny story. I skip over a lot of stuff, but just recently this year it was my birthday. It was my 30th birthday. Did it up, did some cool tattoos, and I was actually at a guest spot in North Carolina. The guest spot's like you kind of just like temporarily working at somebody's spot. Usually it's one of the homies or something like that. So I go up there to this guest spot. I have a great time, and I had a little bit of an issue with it was a very weird shop to be at in the first place. And I was already tattooed in Georgia, and I wasn't really having a great time. But I get to this shop, and the artists are weird. It was super business-like. Turns out the guy wasn't even a tattoo artist that owned the shop. He had a couple so-called big names that if I dropped them, y'all wouldn't know them. So they're not as big as they think, but they're big enough to pull in some money. And that guy, just my personal opinion, because I only had limited interactions with him, but I didn't find him to be a very intelligent guy or a very fair guy because when I did the guest spot, he was like, I paid for the hotels for the artists, stuff like that. Well, he paid for a hotel, but it was the cheapest hotel around. And then on top of that, my name wasn't on the room when they checked me in because they didn't do the check-in process properly. And then one of the staff tried to get buck with me, and I almost had to put him on a T-shirt. And after I told him about it, which I didn't have to do, it was just a courtesy, like, hey, in the future, you probably shouldn't, have people at these hotels. He decided to use that as an issue and be like, oh, hey, we don't really want you to, or, I think it'd be better if, we just didn't get any help. And I didn't really feel like that was very fair to me because it was a very messed up situation in general because you can't help the situations you're put in. But at that point, my career, I was pretty much fed up with Georgia and fed up with the South in general. And to me, I still consider North Carolina very much part of the South because of the treatment of it. So when it came time to say, hey, what do I want to do? Like I get back and I was at the shop for a day, went home, or no, I went home after all this was said and done, and I was fuming about it. The thing about getting older is you start to really cherish your time and cherish yourself as a person. And I reached that point in my life where I'm not going to do that kind of damage to myself or work a place where I'm not necessarily happy and I don't feel like I'm making the progress I need to make because my goal is definitely to be the best tattoo artist in the world, and that's what I work towards every day. But I'm not going to put myself in a situation to where it's not going to be advantageous or good to me in every sense of the word. It's not just a financial thing. The older you get, the more you realize finances aren't everything. I mean, trust me, they're a majority of it, and you don't really see too many people trying to make money just because they like other people. I genuinely don't. I just like doing tattoos, and I like the people I tattoo. But I had such a negative experience through all the years I've been tattooing in the South that was a cherry on top that made me say, hey, it's time to leave and go and do something different. And I kind of felt like here I had a little bit of unfinished business because here you are.
What I can really appreciate is the byproduct of it. Shit, you got a dope a dude out here doing his thing, making plenty of money.
It's a constant cycle of reevaluation of where I can only exist right now for where I am in a state of temporary happiness because I have to acknowledge I do a decent job, a good job, better than what I say because it's not a thing of humility because I don't really like that word humility. Humility is an oppressive word. Why would you tell someone to not be proud of how good they are? Somebody's got to celebrate your accomplishments. And how many times as an adult do you hear somebody saying, I'm proud of you, let alone you did a great job? I work in the business of changing people's lives and the way they look and immortalizing memories. So that's a little bit more serious than just doing nails or hair or serving them food at a restaurant. You know, most of the time I don't get tips for this kind of stuff. I do it as a labor of love because somebody has to sit here and care. In a business and in a world where I've only ever heard the limitations of what can and can't be done. I learned a long time ago that the people that often can't speak in finites, like that's the truth, and that's the only truth that you should know. So there's a lot of misinformed people out here in the world when it comes to tattoos, but making money is just a side effect or a byproduct of working because it's almost midnight and we filming this. The grind don't stop, and when people say the grind, they
Most
don't
definitely.
realize it's putting in the hours. And when you find somebody, even in any relationship, whether it's friendship, as a homie, I won't even take on an enemy who wouldn't match my energy. If you're not gonna work as hard as I am to ensure I know every fucking move you make, you're not worth the fight. That's not worth putting on my radar. Most of the time when people piss me off or they do something wrong, I address it one time and I leave it alone because I got better things to do with my time. There's a certain point of where you got to ask yourself, is it really worth getting even, or do I just need to let this shit go and move on with my life? First thing you got to know about me, I never fucking moved on. I remember everything. Number two, I'm just making the money so I can make sure I get number three even. That's what kind of person I am. And that's the difference, is that I don't live my life trying to explain to people I'm a good person. I am good to you. I will work to the ends of the earth and treat you like my brother to make sure that you have, or sister, to make sure you have the best quality of what I can produce. But at the same time, I'm not a person to be trifled with. I'm not interested in having confrontation with people. I'm not having a war with you. I'm not sitting out here making any threats. I'm saying I believe in defending myself. And I'm extremely competitive, even with myself. Like, I can't help it. Like, that's me as a person. But what I'm not going to do is live my life having to worry about shit that has nothing to do with me and people who aren't concerned with my well-being. And that's just the truth of it. You can't live your life trying to please everybody, but I try to please only the people who matter. Everybody doesn't matter. You don't matter and I don't matter, but we matter to each other, and that's all that fucking matters. If people took that principle with it, we would unify as a species. There's too much separation, too much shit going on in people's heads that keeps them from realizing the truth of it all. Like, somebody told me the other day, yo, check this. They're like, I love conspiracy theorists and woke people because they're always like, man, have you heard this? Have you heard that? And this dude was like, yeah, man, the Illuminati is real. So fucking what? How about you take comfort in knowing you don't make anywhere near enough money for them to give a fuck about who you are?
That's facts.
That's not even my original words. I swear to you, I could not remember who told me this shit. But when I heard that shit, it hurt my fucking feelings. Like, damn. What do you say to that?
That's true as hell.
Like, damn, you too broke for the Illuminati to care for who you are. Like, that's the great mystery. Like, you can know about all these secret organizations and stuff like that, and they'll let you know. Because what can you do to stop them? The only thing you can change is you, your situation, and the people around you. That's it. You're not going to have 4 crackheads and you turn up and make them all into millionaire crackheads. No, there's going to be 5 crackheads and a bunch of really great ideas floating around that are getting lost down the fucking pipe, right?
Yo, Rashaad, you are very layered toy soldier head ass nigga. Hey, you ever seen that movie, Toy Soldier?
Of course I have, man. I'm fucking
okay.
old.
Okay. So I'm not lying when I say that. But but now though, what I mean by that is like you think very differently than most people, and that's cool though, because it kind of just plays into the being a creative. Because what I've noticed, like some of the most creative people, like especially when it comes to artists, like in the music industry or whatever it is, like the people that are the best at what they do, when it comes to sharing their intellectual property, they seem to be very weird individuals.
Yeah, and it's like I don't take offense to that because I think it's funny. Like, I always appreciate honesty, but I can only express how I am as an individual, like me as a person. I can't think about how somebody else thinks. I don't want to understand how somebody else thinks. And that's a very simple reason. If you have not achieved in my mind what I feel like is real success and more success than me, I don't give a fuck about what you have to think. Success is not just a financial thing.
Humans, we have become very greedy people, and there's so much that goes into that. So that's just another rabbit hole. I'm gonna avoid that. But
we can go into that rabbit hole, man. That's why we're doing this. I completely wholeheartedly and entirely agree with you. Without revealing too much about myself, I will say my experience with people has left me with a bad taste in my mouth with all people, white, black, blue, and orange. I'm not a very trusting person, and I don't like very many people because I really do see things a completely different way. When I think about people in general, my experience has been when you are intimidating, when you are strong, when you are intelligent, people just want to tear you down. They don't want you to be better than them. They want to take it as a personal responsibility to humble you in their eyes because for some reason they feel like that is their duty now that they have encountered someone who is superior rather than trying to understand them. I've been manipulated. I've been deceived. I've been lied to. I've been betrayed by virtually every human being that I have ever met. So it's hard to be out here and deal with people. It's very difficult to sit in front of a camera knowing that there's going to be strangers that watch this that truly feel those words and it resonates with them. And there's going to be the people that understand what it's like to live and go through the motions. And that's a very fucked up way to explain it, but that's exactly what it's like. I can't connect with people, but I can give you perfection. I can't be friends, real good friends. I can't trust people too much, but I can give you something nobody else can. That isn't herpes or a child.
Oh wow!
You know, that's just the truth of it. Yeah. I can give you something that is absolutely the most beautiful thing that is of your own design. If you just answer one question, what is it that you want people to feel when they look at you?
That's deep.
Because I know what that feels. When you have people look at you and they feel something other than what is in here in your chest, it fucking hurts. And eventually you will become exactly what it is that everybody sees. Perception is reality. That is a constant reality and constant existence that I live with and that I bear completely, wholly, and entirely by myself. And that is a burden that is unlike any I've ever seen. I am a veteran. I have seen things. I have done things. I've been places. I've traveled. I've been there, and I am now sitting here. You know, you think if you have a dog, right? Man has a dog, and he kicks this fucking dog in the ribs twice a day, cracks a rib every fucking time for 2 straight years. 2 years, that's 14 dog years. And then he walks up one day and slaps it. You think that dog thinks that it loves it? Of course it does. It doesn't know better.
Yeah.
Imagine getting to an age of where you're supposed to know everything that adults know. There's a list, an imaginary list of shit that people think you're supposed to know. And then you reach that point, and then one day it just smacks you in the back of the head like you're that fucking dog. And that's what happened to me at 30 years old on my birthday.
Damn. That's tough.
You know, you can't live your life letting people mistreat you, but I don't believe that you have to ever sacrifice your pride or who you are to get to where you need to be. But just be careful when you think that way, because being a person that wants to do it all by yourself, I mean, we are rarely proud of ourselves when we are really alone. We really are rarely proud of ourselves. Voltaire said that. Nobody sits there after the money's counted, whatever hovel of the mansion that you go to, when everybody's asleep, when you can't sleep at night and something is weighing on your fucking spirit and you go look in the mirror, do you like what you fucking see? And most people can't. That's why they take selfies and send them to other people. A selfie is for yourself, for you, a picture of yourself, and people take them and send them everywhere else instead of sitting there and saying, do I like this person? Am I happy with that person? Am I proud of this person? You know,
that's real. But I have to say I agree, especially with the whole keeping your circle small. Like, obviously, you're not wrong. Like, humans are very social creatures, but and the way stuff is today, you gotta be very diligent and intentional about who you keep around you.
My intent is to make the people that are in my circle proud of me. My intent is to bring them with me when we're going places. My intent is to uplift these people and inspire them.
You've definitely reached a certain pinnacle in your life when it comes to being a established tattoo artist. And so you pretty much came from humble beginnings. You made it out. You went to the military. Now you a very well off person. So what's next? Like, what's your goals? Like,
I mean, as far as my goals in terms of being an artist, I mean, obviously, I'm gonna keep doing this, and then we'll do updates every now and then let people see more of it, more of the process, and they're more curious, or they need more information about exactly what it is that I do, because there is a big difference between what I do and what a lot of other people do. But then again, every artist is unique, and everyone has their own process. But I'm the only one doing it this way, so I want to make sure that if you're going to be a part of this process, that I can't penalize the world for it not being there at the beginning, because there's nothing to do at the beginning. There's no one who can help me with this other than myself. But there's nothing wrong with helping people along the way who need understanding, who need support, because that's the give and take of this. You're not going to meet everybody who likes your work. You're not going to meet everybody who talks shit about you. That's just how life works. But at the end of the day, it's like my goal is to sit out here and put out a better product. So forever and infinitely and entirely in the future, I'll always be planning to do more. And every plan that I have is in more in service to the people that come and get my work. I will always use the best equipment, best ink, best needles. I will always make sure that I spend the money to stay on the cutting edge in the forefront and develop, because at this point, I'm more focused on spiritual growth and personal growth, and we can achieve both of these things by moving forward. That time in my life of working for somebody is coming to a close, and it's getting to a point of I'm gonna have to work for myself, and I would definitely like people to be a part of that journey, because it's gonna be different and it's gonna be fun. But I want the people that want to be there a part of it. I have a completely different philosophy about a lot of things, especially when it comes to tattooing. And I'm not trying to change the world. I'm just trying to carve out my own little slice in it for people that think the way that I do, that understand the way that I see them. Because, I know some of the things I say may sound morbid, but I'm not a depressed person by any means. I don't feel those kinds of things in a normal sense that people feel anymore. It's more or less of acceptance and desire, because that's what life comes down to. You can want things all you want, but you're gonna have to accept what it is. I want to be taller. I'm never gonna be. It could be as simple as that. My dream home is not a white picket fence with a shithead kid, shithead Tommy, shithead Susie, and an ugly fucking dog running around in a circle walking a 9 to 5. My dream house is a seaside fucking cliff. It's a mansion. It is a castle literally carved into the mountain with the ocean right below it. So if something happens and God says, "Hey, it's time to go," well, hey, it's time to go, okay? But have real goals, but have unrealistic ones. But we can never know when it comes to goals like that which is which until we get to the end of the finish line. So why would I not work hard now? I can talk a lot about negative things, but what I like is when I get excited when I think about the future, when I think about how things can be, because that's what people need. That's what you need. That's what I need. I need to be inspired. Here's what you can do at 18. Stay at home with your parents. Go to school. Go to the military. Work for somebody. Work for yourself. Die. There are only 6 paths in life. People are not mysterious. We are not special. We are not smart. We are not cool. We're not all of these labels that people want to place upon themselves that they pluck and choose from Amazon Prime and Netflix and Hulu. We are not all these made up categories of Vampire Diaries and some kind of high school being played by 20-year-olds. I'm sorry, but it's not a fashion show when you go to school. It's none of that. All this stuff that we see in this world, most of it is full of nonsense. And when you nourish yourself with nonsense and nonsense and nonsense, you have nothing but nonsense come out of your mouth. What I know is real is what I can and cannot do. That's what I do know. There are too many things in this world that I cannot do for me to say I'm special as shit. And that's literally how I look at it. I like to draw pictures. I like to do tattoos. I'm trying to be the best. If anybody has any tips, I will gladly take them. I can figure out if you're right or wrong. I'm smart enough to do that, but I know I can't do it by myself. And I'm going to be the first person to admit that, because no matter how much I've been through with people, I would never give up on people. When I think about myself and how far I've come in terms of the way that I view things and I view the world, that if anybody could change, especially me, then there is hope for change. But it's not going to be the change that people think it is. People got to get smart to how to interact with each other, because as much as we all have questions like how do you become a politician? How do you even start that process? How do you get votes? Like last I checked, our country was, when people turn like 70 to 80, they get committed to nursing homes. Why is our country being run by people that are that age?
That's a good ass question.
That's
I
just
ain't
real
got much to
weird.
say about that either. I'm gonna just say, excuse me while I hit up these Skittles one more time, cause these
Oh man, you good with the Skittles, but
But
you
nah,
know, I
me
always appreciate when you come through. It's always a good time, man.
all day, every day. And this is what we're gonna do, man. We got a lot of stuff coming down the pipeline. We got a lot of good plans, bro. Mark my words, everybody watching. Rashaad Greene will have his own tattoo shop and some stuff going in the very near future. And
We're gonna get everything going. We're gonna get everything popping. The
no way but
biggest,
up, you know what I'm saying?
as long as you are definitely putting out a quality product and you are definitely here for the people. That's always our biggest thing, is making sure that we as businessmen definitely put out something that's worth having and worth spending the money on, because there's not enough people like that in the world either. I mean, people will sell anything and anything can be bought, but I'm not interested in just being anything. I may be nobody, but I'm somebody to somebody, right?
Right. Yeah. So, hey, like I said, you in Hawaii, you need a tattoo, come find them at American Made Tattoo.
And that's the one in Aiea, aka the one close to Pearl City, right next to Powerhouse Gym. The other one, still a good shop, is our sister shop, the American Made in Wahiwa. Definitely go check those boys out. But come on down here, because this is where I'm at. Always, always, always come in person to book appointments, cash only. I do not do it any other way. I need to see you face to face. It answers all the questions that I'm gonna have.
Yep, check them out, or you find them on IG. I'm gonna put that in the description, and we out.